Yes.
You're going on this camera.
Yeah. We're live.
Oh, is it?
Are you live? On the camera?
It's filming.
It's filming.
Not live.
No, it's
not
live filming. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
We're just touching the velvet.
Yeah, touching the velvet. Yes. Hello.
Hi.
I'm here in London with Douglas Rushkoff, and I'm Michael Cillian, Captain Future. And I just heard your fantastic talk today at RSA about how do we join Team Human. Yeah. So what's your reaction after coming here to London talking about it?
I feel like London in some ways is more receptive to it than America. You know, Americans are very utilitarian.
Yeah.
You know, and Londoners, they still have some connection to some noble past, some idea of human dignity, or even if it's just, you know, remembered as manners.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
there's some little bit. You get in a black cab and there's guys who understand that their wages have to do with more than just money. It has to do with getting to live like a person. So
Yeah.
I feel there's some hope here and almost more readiness.
More readiness, even so more than like some parts of like the new counterculture in California. I know a lot of people there working very hard on the things you're talking about under the radar. So
Yeah, there's some. I just feel like this is a fertile. There's sort of more of a memory of civilization here.
yeah, I guess you can say that. I'm from Sweden myself, so we like many people look to us and we and see what we're doing in some good ways, but there's a lot of problems in Sweden as well. So,
Yeah, but there's some more to cooperative spirit,
Yeah.
a little more, you know, understanding of distribution of wealth.
Yeah, that is for sure. Yeah, so we have actually a governmental institution that promotes cooperative business shaping. So that's very good.
We don't have that.
You don't have that. So what does you told us about an instance when you coined the team? I'm on Team Human.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, I was on a panel with one of the singularity people, and he was arguing about how technology is about to surpass human intelligence, and that evolution is the story of how information looks for more complex homes, from atoms to molecules to cells to animals to humans to human culture, and now to computers. And once computers surpass our intelligence, we should pass the torch to them and accept our own obsolescence and eventual extinction. And I argue, no, we deserve a place for humans in the digital future. Humans are special and weird and quirky and wonderful. And he said, oh, you're just saying that because you're a human. Like it was hubris. And I said,
like
fine.
he's not.
Right. Like he's not, or he's accepted that we can't worry about ourselves anymore. And I said, no, fine, okay, I'm guilty. I'm on Team Human.
Yeah.
And that was sort of where this mission started.
Yeah, exactly. And I love the term because I'm part of a global movement we call the Impact Journey, and we are a small part that calls Future Navigators. That actually I want to explore, like, how do we form Team Human here on Earth? So we've been working on that for 8 years. My colleague Bertola's been working 13 years on that. So under the radar, of course. He hasn't published much yet, but they have a global movement with a couple of thousand people following him around this movement. So I know a lot of people in San Francisco working on this as well. So we're gonna see how we can scale that up and like join forces with people like you, and we talk a lot of other interesting people.
Right. I think there's a danger in scaling up, though.
No, not scaling up, but like facilitate, making it happen,
Right.
like you said.
Right, and but try not to brand it, because once there's a name for it, once it's the hippies or the zippies or the this or the that,
we're
then it gets co-opted.
very prominent. They said there's many names for it, and there's not one name, not one
Exactly.
model.
Yeah, otherwise you become the target.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, you become the cult leader.
Right. So it's like, how do you spread anomalous behavior?
Yeah.
How do you spread weird?
How do you allow it to have many shapes, forms, and names? Yeah.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and you also mentioned when you said that, like the computer, you mentioned in the book the microtubulars in the brain.
Yeah.
Because they're so people are not really aware of them. People researching AI, but I actually met Stu Hammeroff and Richard Penrose on a
Yeah?
when I talked about this at a conference, and I said we're nowhere near.
Right. Right. It's
human
only really
consciousness.
the computer scientists, some of them, who will argue that we're close to
Yeah.
replicating human consciousness. And
Yeah.
any of the neuroscientists will say, we don't even understand what human consciousness is.
No.
You know, and the number of combinations, because of all the microtubules in the brain, are way more immense, one brain, than all the computers combined.
Yeah.
So it's and again, it's not to put humans on a pedestal, but just to
No,
respect
we have
the
to find out
dignity
what,
of nature.
Like we don't even understand ourselves yet. So we can start with that.
Yeah, I know. Before we
When we get ready to replace us.
right, or to rise out of the chrysalis of matter into pure consciousness. You know,
Yeah.
if there even is such a thing.
Yeah.
You know, I was saying today, I feel like human beings are more broadcasting consciousness than we are originating it.
Yeah.
You know, so that then if you're just a receiver of a sort. But I don't think that machines can receive that. I don't think it's an emergent property of matter. No, I think it's something else.
It's something else, yeah. So where do you see your next work or step going forward into this journey as Team Human?
I don't know. In some ways, I feel like Team Human is a mic drop.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I've been living at scale for 20, 25 years, writing all these books and going on TV and doing all the podcasts. In some ways, it's like, okay, enough Rushkoff.
Yeah.
Right. So if I'm going to end, not die, but end the work, I kind of want to end it with find the others. You know,
Find
that
the
this is
others,
all
yeah.
about. This is about you. I mean, so the next thing for me, I mean, I'm doing a podcast, but that's really about using my platform to create a voice,
Yeah.
a place for other voices and other people. And I'm interested in doing theater, which is very very local. It's very,
Yeah.
in world. It's live. I mean, I want to write these scripts, these scripts that are very open to interpretation, and then distribute them maybe on the net for free to the 6,000 community theater groups in America and beyond, and let
And
them
beyond.
just experiment with this and see what they want to do. But I feel like I've said enough for anybody. I've shared what value I have, and I feel like there's a lot of young, smart people who have more to say, and I don't want to hog the microphone.
No. Also, you meant, like you said, like the big tech giant and stuff. How do you see like a new way of shaping the internet or social media, where we actually can start using it to collaborate and use the algorithms for us? You said the algorithms should work for us, we should not work for them.
Yeah, well, it seems pretty simple,
Yeah.
and straightforward. It's like, well, what if you optimized a social media platform to help people see their adversaries as human beings, rather than to see all the other people as adversaries? And that's just, changing the way people spend their time on these networks. You're not optimizing for instant engagement, for clicking. It's even the platform, even if we left them alone, they'd be better than, they'd be neutral. I would trust human nature to eventually find their way, rather than, embedding these really, divisive styles and routines into the platform.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be that hard. An algorithm can do anything you ask it to.
Yeah.
So if you say, okay, algorithms, try to figure out how to get people to engage in pro-social behaviors, how to get people to, enjoy one another, to think more, to, it's a different pace of interaction than is optimal for the extraction of data.
Exactly. Yeah. Have anyone from the big tech giants approached you on these questions, or are you like, are there any communications around this subject with them, or you're on a different team?
Every once in a while, I mean, the tech billionaires engage with me, but that's mainly to look at how can they survive.
I read your
bomb
post
shelters.
on the bunker. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a running joke in our circles that we should form Team Bunker as well, like the opposite team for Team Human.
Yeah, I mean, they ask about that, or they ask about communications strategies. How can we make ourselves look less?
Look
horrible?
less. Yeah. And the obvious answer is
Be less horrible. Yeah, but they don't. That's like no. They don't want to actually change what they do, But no, they're not. So far, they're not interested. I mean, Google has this sort of ethics group. It's two people.
Two people.
Yeah, in this ethics group at Google, and they wanted me to come to talk to them, and I did. And then I found out that the sort of the ethics efforts of Google have to do not with Google being more ethical, but Google using its power to get people to donate more money to charities.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm trying to say, no, just actually make Google itself an ethical actor.
Yeah.
And but that still doesn't. They still look at it as, let's just do charity as compensation.
Compensation for the evil
Yeah.
they're supposedly not doing from the beginning.
Well, they took that away.
They took
They
that
don't-
away
they
very
did.
quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you see any other path reaching out to this? So what do you
Well,
think a lot about this?
I mean, reaching to those companies.
Yeah.
I mean, reaching the workers in the companies is
Yeah.
a little easier when they walk out because they don't want to build
No.
some, censored Chinese search engine. They don't want to give, the Chinese government the data on their people. The sort of worker refusal to engage in those things, they look at as a problem. But I think that's one potential solution. That we're in charge of our world. And that's. Again, it's a matter of being able to communicate effectively with one another so we can forge solidarity and then take collective action.
Yeah.
So I do feel my message reaches those people.
Yeah.
I do occasionally get emails from, I'm one of the 1,000 workers that walked out. What should we do next?
What should you do next?
Yeah.
How do I join Team Human? Yeah. So,
It is funny. How do I join Team Human? People really asking that.
Yeah.
And I'm saying you're just join the human race. It's like there's no.
Yeah.
I mean,
but we're all human. But there's like different kinds of human. We have all bad and good abilities inside us.
Yeah.
So how do you amplify the good behavior for the team human you are on?
It's easiest to amplify it in real life. Form genuine real life, real world rapport.
Yeah.
I've been arguing that the Germans. I keep thinking whenever I'm walking in London, I think about Winston Churchill movies, and
Yeah, of
because
course,
it looks
yeah.
like the set of a World War II thing.
It
to
does,
me.
yeah. Nothing's changed, no.
Yeah.
Except the big temples.
There's some big ones,
I
there's some
walked
big
around
ones.
today and saw all the big new glass and steel temples built by not Team Human.
No, but with laundered money.
Yeah, the extracted money.
Yeah. Oh well. But I forgot what we were just talking about, doesn't it?
Yeah, joining Team Human. Yeah, how do you amplify? the
Yeah,
good
I mean,
parts?
it's just finding the others is a real world activity,
Yeah.
and it doesn't scale in the traditional way, but there's others everywhere.
Yeah.
There's people who are waking up and want to be social, and then it's a matter of finding the human in the real other, the people you
Yeah.
disagree with,
Yeah.
the whatever horrible right wing
Yeah.
person.
I actually have a good friend in Sweden who started a very controversial podcast where he talked to the opposite people. And also the same people, but also like the right-wing people.
Yeah.
And he got a lot of bad shit for that, because you can't talk to them, they're evil. But he said, no, we have to talk to them. But he's doing that on a national level in Sweden. So.
Exactly. If you can't see the human being in the racist, how do you expect the racist to see the human
Yeah.
being in the in the brown person?
Yeah, so we're celebrating him and supporting him in
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, a good argument is healthy.
Yeah, you can always listen. You don't have to agree.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's the hard part. Listen, and not like. How do we teach that skill more? Do you think?
Right. Well,
I can meet you, but how do I actually listen and not just talk and think of my stuff?
I'm trying to practice that myself.
Yeah, me too.
It's horrible because people keep asking me questions. I could do interviews all day, every day.
Every day.
And it's like,
And
we're-
only you're talking. Yeah.
I know. What's the point of that? And I'm telling everybody, listen. Learn to listen.
Yeah,
Learn to listen.
Learn to listen.
Yeah.
Who are you curious about? Who do you want to listen to next?
No, not the people who already have big platforms.
Yeah.
I'm interested in listening to young people. Listening, I got students. That's why I started to teach, so I can listen to sort of 18 to 22-year-olds and what are their concerns, and to help acknowledge what they're going through, and they really respond to being respected.
Yeah.
Being listened to is so.
Yeah,
So
I'm following the big movement around Greta Thunberg and all the climate activists here.
Oh, yeah.
You have seen that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's very exciting. Like the young people are really getting mad
Yeah.
at us,
Yeah.
fucking up everything.
Exactly. I'm interested in AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez in the U.S. and the Green New Deal and who's starting to talk about that. And,
Yeah.
That's interesting.
She's stirring up some real controversy in the U.S., right?
Yeah, people hate her. Some do, and other ones love her. But that's good.
That's
not,
good.
Not bad.
Yeah.
You still going? Or?
We're still
Yeah.
going, yeah. We're talking about.
Yeah, James Westcott said he's here, but I told him to at least wait till 5:05, and he said okay.
Yeah.
So he's giving us 5 minutes reprieve.
Yeah. And you're talking with George Monbiot tomorrow.
Tomorrow night. Yeah.
I'm going to see you there as well.
Yeah,
What do you think
hopefully
about
he'll be
George and
friendly.
his thoughts? I read his new book, Out of the Wreckage.
Yeah. I mean, it was interesting. It was a profound conversation for me because since my theater days, I've been very suspicious of narratives, stories. Because stories are used to manipulate people, or people use a story to create an ends justifies the means journey. And he was saying, no, we need a story, and all stories have the same shape. That things were great, and then this bad thing happened to corrupt it, but now we can work together and make the good thing again. And if you don't use that structure, you won't ever get anybody.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, but what if the structure's not really true? But I mean, as a communication strategy, I can see why that's, how that's important.
Yeah.
I just don't like to harken back and say, oh, there was this golden age, and then
No, there never were, no?
There
but
wasn't.
We have to create a new
right.
Silver Age at least.
Yeah, it's
Something-
always a
something better.
compromise.
Yeah.
Human beings, being human is life is pain and suffering.
Yeah, and we're
Buddha
full
knew
of
this.
biases that we can't control,
Yeah, but we can certainly start to recognize that, and start to play rather than and join that dance rather than than the war.
Than the war,
But we're really at war with ourselves, with our planet. Unless we really is true, as we all know, unless we actually become conscious and change course, it all goes.
Yeah, exactly. Are you familiar with Nicole Bradford and the Transect movement around Palo Alto University as well? No, she's doing very interesting work, like using tech for good and facilitate the human awakening through science, heart monitor, brain monitors, and see how can you help people, like trick people into awakening without them actually knowing.
Yeah, it's interesting. I know there's people they put in a little thing, and then it'll vibrate when you're facing north, and it's trying to sort of wake up people's nervous systems to the physical reality. I just feel like we already have that. It's odd.
Yeah.
It's odd. It's not my path. Put it that way.
Yeah. But it could be a path for people who are not reachable otherwise, I think.
Suppose, just like any medicine.
To start a conversation, at least,
Yeah, no, and I do. I had, Chris Dancy on my podcast, and he's got all sorts of little implants and things, and he said he was, terribly depressed, and he used his devices and all he wouldn't be alive without them. He, programmed them to be positive reinforcement and to be pro-social, and it brought him back from the brink. So, I'm not going to deny his experience. I think I'm sorry he got to the brink, but I'm glad he found a way back.
Yeah. We have to find a way back for many more people, especially young. We just met some young people in Sweden that feel very depressed and dealt with suicide, and I know it came up during the conversation today as well.
I know people it's a cherry-picked example. This one girl who,
Yeah.
went down the suicide hole
Yeah.
on social media, and there's no way to know if she would have done it
Otherwise,
with
no,
or
no,
otherwise
no.
or what. But social media definitely exacerbates whatever sort of negative state you're in,
Yeah.
because negative states are much easier to provoke than positive ones.
Yeah, you have to just scratch a little, and
Yeah.
and then you have to start scratching yourself. Yeah,
It's the car accident.
Yeah.
You really want to be sure that people are going to look.
yeah,
Show them something horrible.
sure, of course. So, how hopeful do you feel right now after like the last period of touring with the book and talking to people about this? Has something changed since you wrote the book? Or?
I mean, I feel like, in some ways, hopeful. I feel like there's a significant portion of humanity that, at the very least, is going to go down swinging.
Yeah.
You know,
I'll be one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that's beautiful in itself.
Yeah.
You know, like the even if we die, and the if we end as a civilization, the alien archaeologists who come will say, "Oh, look, there were some humans who knew what was going on. They were
And they
trying.
did it. They were trying. Yeah.
They were still beautiful in some ways."
Yeah. So, what message should we leave to people listening who want to join Team Human? Something special for them.
They're around. Find the person who's in closest proximity to you right now when this is over,
Yeah.
and go give them a hug and look in their eyes and appreciate that you are incarnate beings
Yeah.
with the ability to establish rapport and find find and feel the power in that in that solidarity.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay,
Thank you for being here.
Captain, my captain.